American battery technology continues to pay us handsomely. This is one of the fucking best stocks I've ever been in. It has just been unbelievable. And we are continuing to push. 2 days ago, I did a video to say, look, chances are in the next week or so, you're going to see $5, all but certain. And we've been covering this for the last 5 years. And if you go through and watch it, I say 99% of my trades have been on the money. So you're going to listen when I say we're going to go to $5 because we're going to go to $5. Now we're going to have a look at the charts here and we'll talk about where I'm going to take profits and all that good stuff. As you know, I have a long term position and I also have a swing position. I am a swinger, guys. That's how I roll. So we're going to talk about different prices in a moment. But we did have the earnings call last night. We've already covered all the main details in the previous video, so I'll share the link to that video. Go in, you get the sort of more boring but more detailed version of what was in the earnings report. I'm just going to focus on what I picked up from the call that was a bit different. So let's kick it off. This is one of the big things that came out of it for me. It was that the battery grade cathode material 100 auto cells was tested with GM, Ford, just to name two of the big players, and the performance matched virgin metals. That was validation that wasn't in the press release. That came in the earnings call. That's huge. That means the big players are going, yeah, this is good stuff you're making, guys. It works. Something works. We're going to buy it. I like that. The DOE supported multi-day demo facility near Reno completed successfully, operated for multi-week runs, sent customer samples. So that again is just showing you that this all really works, and that was re-emphasized on the call. We got a bit more clarity in some of the revenue and the reason behind it. Not rocket science, but being included in the Russell 2000 has contributed to that, and that was re-emphasized. Russell index inclusion led to higher trading volume, which is what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot more in and out trades. For someone that's been trading this for 5 years, I can tell you it's not been as easy to get in, execute. The share price just feels a lot more professional, more standing, better than it ever has done. It feels like a real company now, and that's great. Great for traders, great for people like myself, great for institutional ownership as well. And new investors feel more comfortable being able to put their money in quickly and get it out quickly if need be. This isn't just about recycling EV batteries. It's everything. They're actually looking at grid storage, and we know that grid storage is going to be huge, especially in the area that they are in. Is there a possibility that they will use this to store grid energy themselves and supply that? Who knows what it actually means from its entirety, but from the initial outset, they're expanding into every type of lithium project that you can imagine, and that again excites me that they can recycle all of this and produce all of this. And the last thing then, we got the annual shareholder meeting, which is going to be coming up in November 2025. So we're only about 2 months away from that. And again, I just don't foresee how this stock and the wider market as well doesn't just continue pushing until about that time. So yeah, that brings me nicely on to the share price. And as we can see here, in the last 5 days, we are now up 63.45%. We were as high as 430 today. 432, which was unbelievable. So following the press release and the announcement yesterday, we seen a nice little jump of another 11%. Currently up 10% at the time. You can see a lot of the news articles are now picking up. Seeing loads of people in Trade 212, the volume of messages, everything just seems to be getting really interesting from a retail perspective. And if we even look into my Discord, where I put all my information first, everyone gets to see it and everyone gets to know my price targets. And there's been plenty of discussions on it. And then we even had Andy put this through. He tried to sell it yesterday, didn't sell. He sold a 391, but he still made a lovely £1,000. Nice quick flip for him. So he's delighted, happy man. He bought the course a year ago for £100, and he's already 10x'd it on one trade, and that's a year later. Can't imagine how much money he has actually made over the last year. But that aside, let's now look at this stock in more detail. We can see on the day chart, we were here a couple of days ago, which said we broke out. Looks like we break in. We broke out, and that was inevitable that this was going to go. Now you can see here the volume, and this is what you got to watch for if you're a trader. The volume starting to dip. People are it's getting a bit frothy. So maybe new people are going, do I really want to be buying at this stage? And what they're looking at is probably the RSI. As you can see, these are the overbought territories. When you get to these levels, it usually sells off. We can see here when it got to this level, it sold off a bit, dipped, and then ripped. Over here, really sold off, and that brought us in. And this is when I sold, because this was pretty much telling you to get out. But that's not the only indicator I'm looking at. I'm looking at this. And as you can see here, with this little rise, we didn't cross over. So I wouldn't be exiting that. This, you can see the crossover. Yeah, I'm exiting. That's why I took profits. So if we look at this situation, well, you can see what's happening. We're not at that massively overbought territory yet, not in my opinion. But look at this. The MACD, guys, as I said in the last video, was only crossing over. So I can tell you right now, from my honest opinion, and again, unless fundamental news comes out, worldwide news or something bad about the stock, this momentum will continue. So let's look at this. We've got these lines now. We touched the 430. Look, this was going to be in and around a bit of resistance. It's not great resistance, and that's why I'm confident enough that we're going to break through. Now, we might do what I just said originally. We might go sideways, might do a bit of a dip for a day or two. Don't get me wrong, that's likely. But we're going to push, and we're going to push to at least, I think, $5. And I'm going to aim for $5. I'm not selling anything, rightly or wrongly. I'm not going to sell a drop until we get to at least, I might even go 5.10. I might even wait for after $5 because I think you're going to get the blow off top. I think it's going to pump that hard. So from these levels, from where the current stock price is, you're still looking at probably another 40%, 30 to 40%. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, we can see here, yeah, we're overbought, definitely, but we're not. The MACD looks sweet, guys. Weekly looks sweet. 1 hour chart looks strong. Doesn't look to be stopping. It's trying. It's getting overbought and all that, but nope, we're pushing on hard. So I don't foresee this changing. That's the video. Fundamentally, fantastic news. Better news came out from the earnings call. A few little sneak peeks to what's going on in the background. Company's looking good. Cash in the bank. Yeah, and I'm just talking about swing trading here. This company's got a huge future. Huge future. And one other thing, actually, just looking at the charts here, what you're noticing is this is the bull market. Last time we were in a bull run on American Battery Technology was probably when I bought it. Yeah, back in November 20. We dipped into it a bit here, but on the weekly chart, we pretty much left it in June 22 and we haven't been back in it since. So that's going to cause natural rejection. And again, look where it is. It's about that 563. So, assuming this pushes, maybe go sort of like this or something, that might come down. It's can't double cross it and all that. You're maybe looking at, yeah, I think 530, 520 easily is going to happen in this next run. So if you like 60% profits, yeah, do your own due diligence because I could be completely wrong. But my track record's pretty good on this one. And I feel that this is going to push. I just feel it in my loins, feel it all the way down to my plums. So yeah, that's the video. Please leave your comments down below. What's your price target? Where are you seeing this bad boy go? Long term, this has got legs for days. That's why I'm keeping my long term position. But from a swing trading perspective, looking forward to making another 60%.